Hey everyone, Colfax here from the ETH Staker community. Welcome to the Stakehouse community call number, I've forgotten the number we're on, the February one. Remy, do you know what call we're on?
We are on call 14.
14, that's amazing. For those of you joining us for the first time, the Stakehouse community is an extension of the ETH Staker community, and we are focused on having discussions around and building tools that lower the technical bar to staking, as well as broadly promote the health of the beacon chain. My name is Colfax, as I mentioned. I'm here with a bunch of my friends. Remy, who just spoke up.
Hi there.
Michael, who's running OBS and everything behind the scenes. James, as you'll recognize from the Prism team.
Hello.
Mike Shaw, who is awesome, and he helps us with a lot of the organization.
Hello.
David from the Ethereum team, another awesome guy.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
And Superfizz, yours truly.
Hey everyone, glad to be here.
Amazing. We've got a lot of exciting stuff in store for you today. First off, I will make a quick announcement. Many of you may know, many may not know, but I've been working on another project on top of Stakehouse that was actually inspired by a lot of my work with Stakehouse. It's called Gitpo App, which I'll talk about in a quick second. But we're turning it in, we've turned it into a company, and we're full-fledged trying to launch this platform around rewarding POAPs to contributors and other based on other accomplishments, sort of building this greater like decentralized reputation platform. So I am actually going to be stepping into more of a supporting role on Stakehouse, and I'm passing off the torch to Remy to sort of lead the initiative, and James is going to be one of the core people helping host these calls. I think it's been really fun doing this, and I'm really grateful for this whole community. I think it's best now that I'm just so busy with things, I'm not able to like really steer everything as much as I was before. So I'm really excited for Remy to take over.
Hey Colfax, why don't you tell us what's Gitpo App and how it can help us as staking tools developers as well?
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you asked. So Gitpo App, as it sounds, is a platform that really on the highest level, as I was mentioning, is a decentralized reputation platform. And it was really inspired originally by my work on the Wagyu tools as a part of Stakehouse. And when people would contribute to the tool, I would actually just hand out a POAP to recognize their contributions. And that, among many other things, the Ethereum.org team also does this, where you get POAPs for contributions. Through some conversation with different people, we noticed that turning this into a platform and being able to support all sorts of open source projects with this POAP issuance could really help communities sort of recognize their contributions, and then also help developers build a track record of their contributions on chain. And so starting about 6 months ago, we started talking about sort of like what this could turn into. And now we've turned Gitpo App into a company, and we're going to be focused on integrating with a bunch of different open source projects, and hopefully launching here in about 3 or 4 weeks. And what we really want to do is just sort of be this bridge of off-chain contributions on-chain, and allow this POAP issuance to give developers an opportunity to build sort of an on-chain track record and sort of incentivize more people to contribute to these different projects. So how that's related to this, I'd love to support any open source staking projects or staking tooling through Gitpo App, and I'd love to help you onboard and issue POAPs to your contributors. So feel free to let me know. David, you guys are on my list of people to reach out to in the next couple of weeks to integrate. And yeah, I'd love to use Gitpo App as a platform to really support open source and help people build sort of a reputation for different projects that they're working on.
I'm very excited for what Colfax is doing here, and tell us where we can learn more about it and where we can follow you guys at Gitpo App.
Yeah, great question. So first off, we have some information on our website at gitpoapp.io. We're a simple landing page right now. You can actually suggest a repo if you want at the bottom. Let me drop in a link.
Sure.
For that. I'll direct link straight to the bottom. So suggest your repos there, or feel free to reach out to me directly. We're also on Twitter at Gitpo App, GITPOAP. And yeah, feel free to follow us there. Again, launching hopefully in the next 3 to 4 weeks, and I'll keep you guys posted. We're going to be launching by issuing POAPs to about a dozen of the primary open source tooling projects on Ethereum, and going back, recognizing all contributions that went back all the way to the project inception. And so we're going to be issuing a bunch of POAPs, and we're building a simple application for people to sort of build like a verified digital resume. So super excited to share that with you guys soon. And yeah, follow along on the website, and then I'll post the Twitter as well.
Awesome. Make sure you guys check out Gitpo app. It's very nice, and there's a lot of potentials there. We'll be using it in all of our projects as soon as Colfax accept them, and I'm very excited for using it.
Thank you very much.
All right, so
I would like to, can I just share some genuine thanks to Colfax for stepping up all those months ago and agreeing that UX on staking isn't where it should be, and it's still not where it should be, but by creating Stakehouse, you've really laid a foundation to begin moving that needle and getting us where we need to be. And without your support, we wouldn't be as far along as we are. We have a really great group, and that's all thanks to your effort. So I really appreciate what you've done.
absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'd say it's a big team effort, although I've been the champion for, pushing the lead, but yeah, I couldn't have done it without the team. This also has nothing to do with my caring any less about staking UX. In fact, I care even more than I have in the past, because it's just so important. So hopefully supporting projects through Gitpo App, and then still very much supporting the Wagyu installer project, which Remy will be taking the lead on as well. So
that's all good news. Let's talk about Eve Denver. As many of you guys should know or heard about it, Eve Denver is still going on. They're at the ski resort thingy, but the main talks are over. Many of us were there the last few days, including me, James, Colfax, Superfizz, Michael was there as well, and Vedika was there. So we had a great time there. There was so many things there to enjoy and have fun with. Maybe we'll just go through some of these at this point, and maybe James, if you want to interrupt me and talk about your main points that happened there, just go ahead. But I'll go through. One of the first things that I enjoyed there was the Shelling Point event. So this big event that was on Thursday, if my memory is correct. Was on Thursday, yes. Organized or sponsored by Gitcoin, where there was all these great talks about how to see the positive side of the community, Ethereum. What are these nice projects that can bring public goods on the Ethereum blockchain and on the community as well. So that was a good first impression for me, because I think I got there on Wednesday, and then I could enjoy the Shelling Point event. It was a little rough for those having to queue up there, but we found our way into the main event. One of the other point I want to make there that was very nice for us was meeting people in real life that we only met through the internet, right? So I met the Colfax for the first time. I met Superfizz for the first time. I met James for the first time. I met Anvedika for the first time. So like that was a great bonding experience. I met also a bunch of guys from the Ethereum Foundation. They are very supporting of what we're doing, not just in terms of money, but also in terms of visibility and like communicating our tools, and maybe we'll talk about those a little more later. There was a lot of talks on DAOs and NFTs, so maybe eventually we'll have to get into those a little more. We're already using POAPs a lot for like all of our events, and there will be a POAP today as well. So for people watching live on YouTube, stay around. We'll give a POAP for this. community call. There was a lot of celebrities. Vitalik was there, David Huffman, Andrew Yang was there as well. So it was nice seeing those guys. And for the fans, we could take some pictures. There was I can't remember. Maybe Colfax, you'll be able to tell me there. There was a few talks on staking, but not that many, right? I think there was like 3 or something. Colfax had a great talk on the UX of staking, and I'll put the link in Discord and on YouTube's chat here so that people can see it if you guys have not seen it. Colfax gave this awesome talk on the UX of staking on Ethereum and why it's so critical for decentralization. So make sure to check it out if you have not already. And I think that's pretty much all the things I wanted to say about ETH Denver. What about you, James?
Yeah, just to kind of continue off of that, it was a really like exciting event. I feel really energized after the event. It was great meeting everyone sort of for the first time. It was also being a core dev. It was also the first time for me to interact with the other consensus layer developers, as well as the EF Foundation. To be honest, our team, I think, went into this conference thinking it would be like a 2,000 person event, because the one sort of in previous years was much smaller. And what ended up happening was basically like 10 times that amount, like 5 to 10 times that amount. And it was intense. The lines, some people I've heard waited in line for 4.5 hours, 5 hours to get
that was
get
crazy.
inside. Yeah, but it's also very exciting to see like how much support there is for sort of this crypto future, Web3, Ethereum. As Remy sort of mentioned, there are a lot of like celebrities essentially there. David Hoffman, as Remy mentioned, Andrew Yang was sort of unexpected. Kimball Musk, brother of Elon Musk, was there. You know, Vitalik, Aya from the Ethereum Foundation, but also people in other areas like People Pleaser for NFTs, and a lot of major names in VCs. So like Drive Capital was there, Deca Sonic was there. So it was really exciting, and it could, being at the event, you could sort of see the different areas of where this is evolving into. So some of the highlights for me was at least for the client, for the consensus layer and the EF members, they were working on hacking up the mini dank sharding. If people have heard about sharding for Ethereum, previously the thought was to run these like 64 chains, and like, how do we get people onto these chains? Well, we have a much better idea, and Dankrad from the Ethereum Foundation, we were working on his proposal for dank sharding, and it's really exciting. Lots of cool work around that. We don't need to run 64 chains in the future. We can have these data blobs sort of expanded on there. So lots of cool work there. Really, this layer 2 future, it was I would say that layer 2s and zero knowledge proofs, it was a really exciting thing at the conference to talk about that kind of space and how that kind of space is evolving. And let's see. some of my own highlights. I went to one of the DApp node talks. If you're not familiar with DApp node, they kind of provide this this tooling, and you can sort of buy the actual hardware for staking, and they talked a little bit about the future of DApp node. So that was great on that front. And one last aspect was in terms of the future of being a staker, this concept of middleware technology is growing, which is also really interesting. So if you run, you'll know you're running your beacon chain, and you're running your validator client. Well, there's all these like different technologies that's spinning up, like Obol network for these types of middleware in between these technologies, and some people might have heard of flashbots. So where is that evolving in this space? That's also really interesting.
Yeah,
So those were my highlights.
There's a lot of these middlewares coming in, and we'll have to guide our users through all of them because it'll increase the complexity again. I want to do this DApp node talk you mentioned here. I wanted to go to that talk, but I had a meeting outside, so I had to leave, and then I couldn't get back in because of the queue. So that was unfortunate, but I really wanted to go and see that talk. I'll make sure to watch the video of it on YouTube. Eventually, I'll try to find it on ETH Denver's YouTube. So if you don't know, guys, even if you have not been there in person, you can rewatch all of those talks on ETH Denver's YouTube channel. Maybe we could try to put the link there in the Discord and the YouTube chat. But that was very nice things to attend to and see there.
I'll drop the link in now.
Yeah, sure.
Remy, actually, just quick question. That's an awfully cool shirt you have on. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, this is the official ETH sticker shirt that we gave to a few people's at ETH Denver, but it's like the official logo with the forks and the diamonds for ETH sticker to be there. There was so many swag for people who attended. I barely managed to close my luggage on my way back. It was way too full, but in any case, we'll go through the next point here. I'll talk with David, I think you have some updates on the Ethereum challenge, right?
Exactly. It's the time again of this, the time of the year again. We are running our third iteration of our update and upkeep challenge. It's a challenge open to all independent solo stakers. This time we changed the registration a little bit. You can still sign up till the 28th of February. And to do it, you have to join our Discord and chat a little bit with our Discord bot and verify that you own the validator. We sadly have to do this because last time we got a lot of cheaters and co-op farmers trying to get into the contest. But we hope to like dampen the effect a little bit this way. As I said, you can earn POAPs at the end of the challenge. It's going through all of March. You have to just run your validator, attest perfectly, and you have the chance to win 2 NFTs this time. One from a local Russian girl living here in Vienna, and one from a artist collective called Cryptovina, who's doing currently some big NFT stuff inside of Austria. So if you are interested, I'm gonna post some links into the Discord. I hope if you could share them on YouTube as well, that would be great. So awesome. That's all, I think. And as well, if you have any questions about it, like what happens with your data, how does it work? I think we wrote everything on the page itself, but you can ask me anything. I'm open 24/7 for the questions. So please come to me.
Awesome. Like if you guys want to learn more about this, I highly suggest to join Ethereum's Discord. David and Stefan are always there and they'll answer your questions like right away. So make sure to join them and see if that's something that's interesting for you. And then I think our next item would be the POAP. Michael, do you have anything to show the for the POAP, or should I just paste the link to the Google form? All right. So as usual, we have a Google form for you to fill out if you want to claim today's POAP for the community call. So let me post that into our Discord channel right here, and I'll post it on the YouTube chat for those people who are on YouTube. So as usual, just fill out the form. Make sure to answer honestly. We try to filter the answers for only people that are attending and watching the YouTube live. The form will be closed a few minutes after the call, so I'll leave maybe like 30 minutes, and then so make sure to fill out the form after that so that you can get your POAP. Awesome. And then next we have a small update for ETH Wizard. So all our people using ETH Wizard for setting their machine to be validators on Ethereum. ETH Wizard now has automatic updates for your clients. So if you download the latest version, you run it again, it'll check the current running versions for your clients, and it'll prompt you for updating those if needed automatically. So you just have to click next or update, and then it does it without any problem, and then it checks on everything, and it's pretty well done. So if you guys want to check that out, it's only for Ubuntu. Eventually will come with an update for Windows as well to have automatic updates there. Next, we'll talk
That sounds
about
awesome.
yeah, it's very nice. It was a lot of work, but it's working now, and I'm glad people are using it. Next, we'll talk with James about the survey and the survey result that was performed or asked about people running validators.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. I'll actually repaste it in our Stakehouse Discord chat.
Maybe you can tell us about like how that survey was done and why was it done?
Yeah. So the survey actually, there's 2 surveys. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. It'll make things easier. Okay. Are you guys able to see it?
Yes.
Okay, great. So first of all, why are there 2 surveys? One of the surveys is actually mine, and then me and Buddha sort of worked on that, and then there was another one by the Ethereum Foundation. So when I first joined Prismatic Labs, I wanted to sort of know what the current state of staking is amongst the community that I had been interacting with. So my survey here is on the left side, and then on the right side, there's the Ethereum Foundation survey. So I actually started this survey without knowledge that the Ethereum Foundation was also creating a survey themselves. So it's been very interesting comparing the results of the 2. And as you can see, this was sometime in like September, when I was first joining Prismatic Labs. And this survey goes through topics like what kind of machine you're using to stake, and how much knowledge do you have about staking previously, and maybe which technologies you're using, and questions like that. So it's really to gauge the community that I was interacting with on a daily basis. So most of you on this call, and I would say that the survey results have been very interesting. So we're going to go over some of the highlights. Does that sound good, Remy? Did you have?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this survey, these surveys have been out for quite some time now, but I sort of wanted to go over some of the highlights that I thought were interesting. Some disclaimer, I'm not like a data scientist. I wasn't vetted through these surveys, and these surveys definitely were open to the public. So some of the results may be skewed. I know for sure that as you can see, there's a bots removed marker here for the Ethereum Foundation survey. There were definitely bots trying to farm some kind of POAP. So they tried their best to clean that up. On my side, it was only shown to the client teams, ETH staker, and some of the immediate communities that we were aware of on Discord. So just going over some of the interesting highlights here. Most people have been that were surveyed have more than 2 years experience with Ethereum at the time of writing, which is very interesting. With that means that they must have started with Ethereum prior to sort of the launch of the consensus layer items and proof of stake. So a lot of people have been part of the community for a long time. I'm interested in how can we sort of increase the newcomers to the community. And as you can see, it really matches with the technical proficiency. Most people were pretty technical. This area is kind of interesting. There are some people that believe that they are a little bit less technical. But overall, you can see if we scroll to the next part here, are you a validator on mainnet? Which means you have the 32 ETH staked, and 97.7% yes. Whether that's realistic or not, that I can't verify that, but most people responding to the survey are actually mainnet validators. So again, with the Stakehouse community, we're trying to lower the technical bar to staking. We'd love to see this number sort of go up, and then less technical proficiency while still becoming a staker, either on mainnet or on testnet. So that was interesting. The next part were the emotions when you were staking for the first time on mainnet.
I thought this was the most interesting part. I thought this was a very interesting part, James. And I thought your aspect of the anxiety around it was quite telling, right? Like it's while the respondents say they're pretty technical, we still had a lot of anxiety around doing it.
Exactly. So despite most people having been a part of the community for 2 years or more and having a lot of technical proficiency, the anxieties to staking were still relatively high, as you can see on this graph here. So one sort of being like extremely anxious, and then like 10 being like carefree.
And it might have been because of the high stake, right? Because of the amount of value.
Yeah.
But I guess I can feel why people are feeling anxious there.
Yeah. What I feel like this tells us on sort of the core dev team is that possibly maybe there should be a bigger push on test nets and make sure that people are comfortable enough on test nets first, despite them having capital to stake. And so if we can sort of lower the technical bar in that respect too, just like get people on testnets. Like you don't have the money, well, it's okay, because like you should at least be comfortable with the idea of staking first, and then see how it is like running your own validator, and then give us suggestions on how can we improve that experience.
That's a good point. Yep.
This was another interesting point. What operating system are you using for your validator? And the Ethereum Foundation had a very close number to this, which leads me to believe that there was a lot of overlap in terms of the community responding. On this survey being 8.5% of respondents, this was roughly around 230 respondents. So 8.5% of the network is running on Windows. And at the time of writing this, the survey, actually, a lot of the client teams were not promoting Windows. So if you look at the Lighthouse documentation, it still says Windows is beta. Whether that's true or not might not be correct. Maybe they're completely fine with Windows now. Teku, I know, was not promoting Windows despite supporting it, and same with the other clients. And a lot of them require a lot of different software that you need to install in order to get it running. So I wonder maybe if this is any aspect of client diversity. I don't know. But it was very interesting that 8.5% is actually running on Windows. And that means that they're running at least one validator. I know there are certain people, I know for a fact that there's at least a person that's running like 100 validators, at least on like an old Windows computer. So I would also say that this is a general assumption, so please don't quote me on this, that Windows users usually tend to be less technical as it's for regular consumers. So perhaps lowering the bar, the technical bar, this could also be a focus area. So if you have an opinion on this, please reach out.
And I just want to say
hear
here that it's totally doable and possible to run a full validator on Windows, even if it might not be ideal. It's 100% doable.
It is now, yes. So I believe all of the teams support Windows now. It just requires a couple other softwares to run it. So I just thought that was an interesting aspect of the survey. Let's continue. On the Ethereum Foundation survey, I did not ask how many validators are you staking, and so the Ethereum Foundation was able to ask that. I don't know how representative these survey results are, but you know, there's some people that are saying that they have 1,000 validators running. So very interesting on this respect. How many are each person running?
And even if that feels like a lot, I feel it's accurate, somewhat accurate.
Got it. And it would be interesting to know, like, you know, in terms of operating system, if any of these numbers could be skewed by these large single, I guess, groups of validators. So like if this was under the assumption that it's like one validator or one survey result person, but like maybe the one person could have like 1,000 that's on Windows, and then that would really skew this graph, right? All right, and then this one was a lot more comprehensive. I'm not going to go through all of the different results, but it's out there. You can take a look at it. There was one other one that I was looking for. I can find it.
While you search for those,
Yep.
oh, there you go. I think you found it, right?
Yeah. How important do you feel it is to have a graphical user interface to your staking client? So it'd be interesting to know, you know, most people are pretty technical taking these surveys. So perhaps that's the reason why it's not important at all. Whereas on the non-technical side, maybe that's where it's very important here. Sorry, go ahead, Remy.
Sure.
What did you want to go?
So my question about those surveys was do you know like if those surveys are going to be done on a regular basis? Because like I feel like one thing would be very nice to know is how all those values evolve over time.
Yeah, that's a great question. We should probably coordinate that and see where we want to take this. Like perhaps after the merge, we should do another survey. But one of the lessons learned, of course, is we need to coordinate. I think each person's time is very valuable, and we would hate for you know, one group of people to maybe ETH staker conducts a survey, and then the Ethereum Foundation then conducts another survey, and then people just get tired of, you know, filling out surveys. So one aspect to all this is that we need to be respectful of everyone's time, and so we need to spend the extra time as the survey creators to coordinate and then make sure that we get everything in one shot.
And I'm pretty sure we can talk with all those peoples and try to coordinate this.
Yeah.
I also wanted to call out one other thing, James, just go back on your point on the GUI, right? It was what I found interesting about the Ethereum data was that when they surveyed solo stakers, so individuals currently staking, it was not very important. But if you look at that against the people that are looking to stake in the future and haven't yet, it's extremely important.
Exactly.
To what you're, yeah. So that to me, just I felt that reaffirmed that like what we're doing here, right? That idea that there's individuals that want to stake that just feel they can't. Like these same people look at, and if you scroll up a little bit, they know where the guides are. They know where to find support, but they're struggling with it. There's some kind of struggle or some kind of hurdle that that these people are clearly having. Not sure what, but
yeah. Why don't you want to stake in the future? Was one of the questions. I think, yeah, technical complexity was a pretty big chunk too.
So 21% of people think it's too technically complex to stake, and that's one of their concern about staking, right? So, I mean, we can help those people.
Yeah, put user experience and then the technical complexity are I mean that's still a pretty big chunk, and That's not even considering the newcomers that'll come after the merge.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think those were some of the big highlights of these surveys. All of the reports are sort of out. I added my own like personal comments on mine here, and like sort of like what are the lessons learned. You're free to sort of read through that and take that opinion as you will. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
Awesome. Thank you, James. We'll have to keep a look on those surveys and like what people answer and like how we can adjust all our efforts to match like the needs of our people. I think our next point would be to talk about DevConnect hackathon projects, and maybe Colfax can tell us a little more about these.
Yes, I am super excited. So for those not familiar, DevConnect is a conference or kind of like a series of mini conferences that are happening in Amsterdam in April. And it's hosted, excuse me, primarily by the Ethereum Foundation, but the Ethereum Foundation has partnered with a lot of different groups that have particular knowledge in sub areas. And so each staker is partnering to host a 3-day event at DevConnect. And so I encourage you to check it out. I think it's April 19th, 20th, and 21st. I encourage you to check out the entire array of events as well as all of the eStaker event. But specifically what I want to talk about here is the last day of the eStaker event, we are hosting a hackathon. And this hackathon is going to be targeted toward, of course, building tools to lower the technical bar to staking. And so we not only want technical people coming, but we also want non-technical people and anybody with any good ideas to come suggest ideas for tools, test out tools that already exist, iterate on existing tools, write some guides and documentation, build tools, etc. And so definitely plan on coming to Amsterdam. And if you're going to be in Amsterdam, definitely plan on coming to the Stakehouse ETH Staker hackathon on April 21st. And Gitpo App will be there as well. And we will be issuing POAPs to anybody who contributes in any way to each hackathon project, whether it's technical or non-technical. So you should be able to earn a few POAPs as well.
That's awesome. I'm very excited to be there. I'm very excited for DevConnect as well. Many of us will be there. Hopefully many more will be. And I'll be happy to meet you guys all there.
Is
David,
there somewhere where that the eStaker information is available for people?
I think we're currently like planning our agenda. Like
Cool.
It's not fully set in stone yet. So maybe in the next few days, few weeks, it should be
Awesome.
available and we'll publish it for sure.
Awesome.
There is a DevConnect webpage, which I will post in the Stakehouse channel right now. Great question, Mike.
Yeah.
And then we'll post more information as we have it. But yeah, the last day of the eStaker event is going to be the hackathon.
I wanted to ask David, are you going to be at DevConnect?
Yeah, we're going
Awesome.
to be at DevConnect.
Woo!
Yeah, good.
Finally
Awesome.
meet in person.
So that's pretty much it for all the items we have on the agenda for this community call. I have one last thing to talk about, and if you guys have anything else to say, we can discuss it. But let me share my screen here to talk about one thing that was quite revealing for me. Let me see this one here. All right, so this is a tweet from DC Investor. He tweeted, I believe, last week or a few days ago about the fact that many of our staking tools are either unknown or not visible or just obscure. And then like the main impression I got from this tweet and the thread where everyone replied that there was that we're not visible enough. Like it's not enough for us to develop all of those nice tools and all of those easy ways for people to get into staking while people just don't know about them, right? So I want to emphasize and put a little more efforts on this side of the problem, Like we have those great tools, and like you guys know them, right? We have Eve Docker, Ethereum, F Wizard, and we have a bunch of all of those very nice tool, Wagyu too, that are there that people just don't know about them, right? And so yeah, that's something I want to work towards for. And if you guys have any ideas, I've been talking with the Ethereum Foundation about this. We already have a few ways to improve this. We're going to be talking with maybe the Ethereum.org people. Maybe they can help us make our tool visible there. Also on the Launchpad, maybe there's ways to include the visibility of our different tools there. So yeah, so I believe that's something we should be focusing on a little more for everyone to know about what we're doing.
That makes sense.
Yep. So
Is there a comprehensive guide that sort of goes over the list of all of the different tools available right now that you know of, Remy?
I don't think there is one. Like I have a few posts on Discords and on
Yeah.
Reddit and on different places, but I don't think there's like a big exhaustive list anywhere. So maybe
Yeah, I
that should be like
wonder.
a first thing to do eventually.
Yeah, maybe it makes sense to have just like an up-to-date, continually updated either web page like stakingmadeeasy.com or something.
Yeah.
And we can have just like a go-to resource for all of the options currently available. If anybody's watching here and wants to work on that, and even if you need some sort of Kickstart funding or something, buying the domain or to give you a little bit more free time, please reach out to us at eStake or reach out to me directly. And I'm sure we could get you set up with something. So yeah, that brings to mind. Yeah, pretty cool idea. Or maybe somebody can work on that during the hackathon or even just in their free time.
Absolutely. So there's many ways that people can just get involved and contribute there. And this one is not even technical that much. A simple web page
Exactly.
might be enough,
Yeah.
right? So that's pretty much it. Do you guys have anything else to say about lowering the technical bar to staking?
Nothing else.
So I
Thanks.
guess
Great job
that's it.
leading the convo, Remy.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. If you guys need anything, if you think we missed posting a link somewhere, let us know. We'll try to post everything that's needed. We will try to do the next community call in March. So we're trying to do all of these calls once a month now. And our focus is still on lowering the technical bar to staking. So anyone who wants to get involved with that, like if you're a dev, if you're a tester, if you're someone who just write good documentation, make sure to reach out to us or reach out to David or reach out to all the different projects that are in this. Like David knows, we need all the help that we can get to get this going and help people get staking on Ethereum.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much, Remy.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you around.